Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. I'm Barb Baldwin, and this month we're focusing on the Irresistibles paper. At first glance, it looks very white, but it's got like a little UV on it, like with a little pattern. So any way that you play with ink with it, it really shows up and it feels just like magic. So, okay, let's get started on this week's card. So we're going to just need two pieces that are 5 1/4 inch tall by 1 3/4 of an inch wide. So we just need like just a couple little pieces. So set those aside, and for the main technique that we're doing for this card, we're going to use some white daisy, and we're doing a color blocking sort of technique. So I'm just taking my acrylic block, inking it up in the ink, and then spritting a little bit of water on top of it. And then I'm going to take that same block and do it in like the crushed curry, and then again in pumpkin pie. And I'm just sort of rotating the block and just putting some of that color on the white daisy place. I had previously stamped out the stamp that I'm going to have over on the side. So I have that over on the side just to give me like an idea on how big I want to make those stamps. Because after everything dries, you'll set it aside, and then after it dries, we'll go ahead and stamp on top of it. Okay, so I've let my paper dry a little bit, and now I'm going to use some black memento ink, and I'm just stamping just exactly right on top of it. And I'm using the Rustic Centerpiece stamp set, which is pretty nice. I like the sunflowers and the little vase that it's got. This way you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring in the individual little pieces and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grab the Irresistibles pieces that we already cut out, and we're gonna do a little bit more color blocking. So I have 3 like 1 by 1 little stamp blocks, and I'm going to go ahead and grab those same 3 colors, the Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, and Pumpkin Pie, and I'm just going to ink up all of those little squares, and then I'm going to stamp them on that Irresistibles paper and spritz them up. So I'm going to speed this up because it takes a little bit of time, but I really like, just being able to play with those same square, like doing the same sort of ink blocking technique. And then I'm just, sort of angling the squares off into different directions. So I'm just doing each color into its own little layer and making sure to rotate the squares just to give it a little bit of interest. We're going to cover up most of it, but I think it still pops through enough. So go ahead and set that aside to dry while we go ahead and grab our Daffodil Delight and we'll cut card base out of that. So we're just going to need a piece that's 5 1/2 inches by 8 1/2 inches, and then we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. So then we'll have like a little card base that sort of like folds back on itself, almost like a Z. And so, and I love using this two-tone paper because it's just sort of, once again, along with the different colors of the block resist that we're doing, it sort of plays around with the colors that are in the stamped parts and being able to see the lighter and the darker shades on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that stamped piece, and I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Since the stamped piece is bigger than the 5 1/2 inches for the card, I just want to sort of trim off the top and bottom parts. I do like how the blocks look, but I think it'll still show up pretty nicely if it's trimmed down. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that side off and I'm just trying to get close because I want to do like a triangle sort of thing to keep like so it feels like forward momentum. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the exact half of what's left on that side of my paper, and I'm going to mark about an inch from the edge. And so then I'm going to mark 1 inch at the top and the bottom, and then I have that halfway mark centered. And so then I just line that up on my paper trimmer, and then I'm just trimming to make sure that that mark doesn't show. And I'm just going from the mark to the mark, and then it's made like a cool little arrow. So it's just kind of a cool extra little feature on the card. And I'm just trimming to make sure that it is just skinny enough for the card. It doesn't take up too much room. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of crushed curry cardstock. And I just want to make a frame to go around that stamped piece. And I want it to be like around 1/4 of an inch bigger. So I'm just sort of lining it up on my my paper trimmer, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut so that it's got 1/4 of an inch. See, I put the very top of the point, and then all I need to do is mark that point, and then because it's going to get trimmed off anyway, I just realized that I can go ahead and just copy that border and just follow it with my little colored pencil, and then trim it off on the paper trimmer, and it'll be that exact same angle for the card, so that'll work out perfectly. So as long as I have my paper trimmer out, I wanted to get a piece for the inside. That'll be the interior sentiment panel. And I'm gonna grab like a sentiment stamp set, because there's no sentiments with the Rustic Centerpiece. And this Encircled with Love has a nice one where it just says thank you, and it's got some some foliage on the side of it. So I figured that would kind of pull in together. And I'm using crushed curry to just stamp that sort of like in the middle, so it'll be covered up by that arrow. So let's go ahead and start assembling the card together. We've got most of the pieces all set. So I'm going to attach that color block to the frame that we just cut for it. And then we're just going to tape up that interior sentiment panel, and then put that on the inside. And then we'll grab those two, and I'm putting the nicest one on the inside because that'll show the most. The other one will get covered up by that front panel. So I'm just making sure that the side that has like the outside that looks the best is there. And then we're just going to, I use liquid adhesive to attach this to the exterior, and I'm just making sure to put my liquid adhesive only on the part that would attach to the card. And so I like how it really plays with all of the different colors, like because we've got the Daffodil Delight and the crushed curry and the pumpkin pie. So I have a couple of like little foliage leaves left over from a die cutting thing that I'd done previously, and I thought that side was just a little bare, so I could have put a bow there, or since this was on my desk, I was like, oh, that'll look pretty nice. And I just they were out of that crushed curry again, so that works perfectly. And the Oh Happy Day is from the multitude of sentiments. There's a stamp set where it's a bunch of sentiments and a die cut, and then you just cut it all out. So I'm just making a little bit of a tiny cluster there And then I'm gonna go ahead and embellish with some new gems that we have. I think they're like from the online exclusives from July, but I really like the colors, like being able to use that bright yellow. And you know how I feel, it's got to be an odd number, so I think I put 7 on there, but in 3 different spots. And then that is it. And I kind of like how striking this card is, and it was a lot of fun to put together. It made me feel crafty. So I hope you had fun making this card along with me, and you made it or made it your own. And don't forget to stay crafty.